Hi class, my name is Neve and I'm going to be discussing three types of file systems: FAT, FAT32, and NTFS. But in order to understand the difference between the three file systems, it's important to know what a file system is and how it works. A file system is one of the most important components of a computer, besides the operating system, because it tells the computer how to store, organize, and access files and folders that are saved to the hard disk. A hard disk is made up of several clusters, and clusters are just blocks of information. So when a file is saved to the hard disk, a file system will break down the file into several blocks, and those blocks are assigned to specific clusters. However, all the blocks of a file are not saved in the same location on the hard disk, nor the same cluster. They're scattered throughout the hard disk. And for the file system to find those blocks, each cluster has a unique identifying number that can be used to piece the file back together when the user asks the computer to do so. Without a file system, there would be no way to determine the beginning or the end of every file, and it would just be a bunch of data scattered throughout the hard disk, and there would be no way to piece them back together. So the first file system, file allocation table, also known as FAT, is basically named because of its organization method. It's a table, and there's two sides. One side tells the computer if that cluster is being used or if it's unused, using bits. And the other side of the table, it tells the computer where to find the next block of that file in the cluster. And there's two tables. In case one gets damaged, the other table can be used as the reference. So basically, the file allocation table is the link that chains all the blocks together. But as hard disks became more powerful and they became larger, FAT was wasting a lot of space on the hard disk because it wasn't efficiently filling all the clusters. So FAT32 was created, and it was meant to improve upon some of the aspects of the original FAT. It used space more efficiently because they used smaller clusters, and therefore there was more room on the hard disk for saving more files and more folders. FAT32 could support partitions up to 32 gigabytes, and it could also resize those partitions. Most USB flash drives still use FAT32 to ensure the compatibility with older versions of Windows. But FAT32 is not as powerful. It wasn't powerful enough, and it had too many limitations. So Windows created NTFS, which was way better at space management, and it supports a lot more partitions. With the new features, it prevented data loss in case there was a system crash, and there was new file level security because there were new encryption features and new compression features that could ensure that unauthorized users couldn't look at files and folders that they shouldn't be looking at. NTFS also supports larger volumes, and it was just a more powerful storage solution. It has an overall better user experience. However, computer forensic investigators, when imaging a hard disk, would prefer to use FAT32 because NTFS file systems could read FAT32 file systems. However, the FAT32 systems could not read NTFS systems. So it just is the more practical way to image a hard disk to investigate it and analyze it. Well, thank you.